Hey y'all, so I covered a lot of the inputs that I typically like to accomplish in the pre-close portion of the acquisition process, and today I want to go over some of the action items for day of close. The big day when everything is processing, people are running around from every single direction as you try and integrate your acquired business onto your platform. There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen, and really staying organized as a transition team is going to make sure that you guys can run everything super smoothly for both your internal team and the team that's being acquired. So let's jump into my screen and I'll show you some of the basic things that I like to cover on day of close. So like I covered in my previous video, these are just some of the basics. It's not exhaustive for every single situation, so make sure to adapt this checklist to however your business operates and some of the things that you need to accomplish on that crucial day of close. I'm just operating in a Google Sheet here, but obviously you can use any sort of project management tool or method that you like for just staying organized with the rest of your transition team. But there's a few simple fields that I like, obviously, are the action item and description of it, who the owner is, who the stakeholders are, obviously this stage of that just being day of close here, the status for that task, and then the date completed. But just a few things to look out for here on day of close. Obviously, executing the wire transfer and getting all the financials sorted away is a crucial component of what happens as soon as all of the agreements are signed. Outside of that, getting into technical items, we have our domain name transfer, as well as our hosting and DNS transfer. All that should happen on day of close, and making sure that you transfer technical ownership of all of the assets from the from the site and business being acquired over to the new owner. If y'all would like, I can do some more specific videos on how that transition process takes place, but really this should be handled obviously by your more technical members of the team. Full CMS access should also come on day of close, so if you've only gotten read-only access or maybe no access at all so far, this is when the new team is going to add you or just give you access to their CMS so that you can go in, obviously start to make changes on the site, but also do things like ownership transfers, which I'll cover in a second. You should also be added as an owner to Google Analytics and Google Search Console and any other web analytics tools that the company uses. So this is obviously an important part of tracking performance and progress. And so getting added as the new verified owner of those properties is really important to have access to on day of close. Email and admin workspace transfer. This is really more of an administrative action item here, making sure whatever they use, Google Workspace, Outlook, any other administration systems for running the site and running the business, that is transferred to you as the new buyer. Outside of that, social profile ownership and logins transfer. So for things like Facebook, you'll need to be added, your individual profile need to be added as an admin to the page, but for others, maybe it's just getting you a username and a password for whatever login that you need. I like having a spreadsheet or just a LastPass vault or something like that that you can easily transfer over from the previous business owner to the new one. Revenue account login transfers, so whether it's affiliate networks or any other types of revenue streams, getting logins for all of this stuff on day of close is super important to make sure that you can start to do things post-close, like changing banking information and all of the other action items that are on your inputs list. I'll cover some of those immediate ones in my next video on post-close the post-close transition checklist, and then compiling any other meaningful logins to make sure that you have usernames and passwords for all of those guys so you can do your thing. And then team communication is obviously a huge one on day of close, both internally within your organization as the buyer and externally, now I guess internally, with the new business and any teammates that you have acquired through this sale. So if you're bringing over any employees, obviously partner communication is really important here as well. So I'll cover more of that process and how I really like to approach that transition communication, both internally and with the new teammates or organization that you're acquiring, in some different videos. But until then, y'all let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video on post-close action items.